and their crime was to protest against uneven elections. Their crime was to protest against the arrest of opposition leaders who were crucial in this particular election. Their crime was to stop Samia from contesting alone as she did. Their crime was actually to include, their crime was actually crying for the inclusion of all in Tanzanian elections, taking into consideration that they determine the future of the people of Tanzania. But what is SADC doing? It is, SADC as well as the African Union doing, they are choosing the sides of the dictators. A sign and a symbolism that African children are alone on this fight. 700 souls, innocent souls, have died because Samia Suluhu Hassan sent or deployed a military that opened live ammunition whilst she decided to shut the internet in that country. A lot of inhuman atrocities were committed by this woman, something that indicates that evil has no gender on the African continent, and the dictatorship has also no gender on our continent, and a clear sign that African people are on their own, and the elites are also on their own, continuing to trample on the rights of the innocent majority in the African continent. When will the eyes of Africans open? That remains a $1 million question. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hloni Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So, African Union has decided to congratulate the declared candidate. I cannot call her a winning candidate. The declared candidate in the bogus elections that took place in Tanzania. All of us who have been witnessing and following these elections, and I think there is absolutely no other characterization of these elections except to say they were fraudulent election. Tanzania missed an opportunity to grant its people the right to choose their preferred leaders. Opposition leaders remain in prisons while some were disqualified to participate in the electoral processes. This is what SADC had to say. Okay, we are back, thank God. From the Information and Communication Directorate, this is what they had to say. Chairperson of the African Union Commission congratulate His Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan on election victory, reaffirm support for Tanzania. And the statement reads as follows: the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, take notes of the results of the presidential election. President Samia Suluhu Hassan for her victory. The chairperson deeply regrets, listen to this, the chairperson has already congratulated, and then the other issue is just mentioned in passing, to see that this chairperson of African Union and African Union itself does not value African, does not value African dignity. They say the chairperson deeply regrets the loss of human life during the post-electoral protest. Was it the post? This is a wrong statement also, because violence started during the elections. Elections were marred by not even violent protest, were marred by peaceful protest. Violence was actually orchestrated, was done or unleashed by Samia Suluhu Samia Salulu Hassan, the current self-declared president of Tanzania. They and extend his sincere condolences to the families of the victims. He underscores the imperative of upholding fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right to peaceful assembly and expression, and encourage the authorities to safeguard these rights within the framework of the law. He also calls on citizens to exercise their rights in a peaceful and responsible manner. This is what the citizens did, but the violent state unleashed terror to the citizens. I think Africans should actually realize this once and for all. We are on our own. We don't have leaders in Africa. We have got vultures, we have got terrorists masquerading as leaders. Unless we stand and redefine our politics, we will always be crying. And these old madalas, these old women, they have no interest for the people of Southern Africa. And then he goes on to say, I'm already, this is a depressing statement to come from the African Union. And then you call this a multilateral institution that has the capacity to deal with problems of Africa. These are people who are just eating taxpayers' money across the African continent, doing absolutely nothing. So it goes on to say, the chairperson recalls the principle of the African Charter on Democracy. Does it actually assist this African Charter on Democracy, or it's just a written document? Elections and governance, in particular respect of the rule of law, human rights, fundamental freedoms, political pluralism, which are the cornerstones of democratic and stable societies. There is absolutely nothing like that. It's just a statement because from the onset you have congratulated a product of a fraudulent process. That on its own shows that this African Union is an incompetent body led by incompetent individuals. In fact, to say incompetent, heartless individuals who disregard the will as well as the feelings and the blood. 700 people lost their lives. There is absolutely no action and no consequence, especially to those who unleashed violence. What they do, they say the process was good. They congratulate the leader. That is where you see that this Africa is led by very, very terrible people. This chairperson of SADC is nothing less than being terrible. That's the proper characterization. The African Union reaffirms its readiness to support the people, and they should not even mention the people. They should say the African Union reaffirms its readiness to support the people and not the, in fact, they should say to support the government of Tanzania in their efforts to preserve peace, national cohesion, and democracy. People died. 700 people died not because they committed any crime, because they were making noise, hoping that their noise would be heard, a worthy noise of saying, no, we have a problem in our country. We have got a president who is actually not allowing other participants in these elections to participate. And this person actually shuts down the internet. Maybe this 700 that we are even told, it's actually more than 700. She shuts down the internet and she begins to unleash reign of terror on citizens. No condemnation whatsoever. All the so-called revolutionary movements, they are sweeping the matter under the carpets. The dead would just be buried, the families will cry, and Salulu would lead after stepping on the blood of the innocent citizens. That is the unfortunate situation of the African National Congress, and we've got a multilateral institution that just issues statements. This is what African Union is good at. It is a body of issuing statements. It's just like SADC, and in the process begging for donations, especially from United Nations and other Western countries, in exchange for writing more and more reports. Nothing more. I mean, who has ever seen African Union or SADC, especially when there is hunger, seeing something written, donated by SADC? There is absolutely nothing of that made. These people go to meet and they pay each other the allowances of the donors, as well as the allowances coming from the taxpayers' money, because all these countries contribute monies taken from the taxpayers, and all they know is to write these statements, heartless statements. And I think this is celebrating the death of 700. It's a shameful, shame on you, chairperson of the SADC, as well as the of African Union, as well as the entire leadership of the African Union. You have failed the youth of Africa, and I must tell you that the youth of Africa shall surely arise and actually reclaim their destinations. You have been actually failing them for the longest period of time. The numbers of youths are growing on the African continent. The suffering is actually escalating on a watch the space. The youth shall surely arise. I think it's high time we declare a war against these failed leaders who are actually sitting on the blood of the people, enjoying killing ruthlessly the innocent citizens of Africa. If African youths can unite, I'm telling you, whatever happened in Tanzania, if it can be emulated across the African continent, our problems would be over. The problem is the divisions that they are sowing. These very same politicians sow divisions amongst the innocent people, and the innocent people find themselves hating each other because of nationalities. But if they can be unity of purpose, and what has been started in Tanzania, it spreads across the African continent. I'm telling you, it won't take us more than a week to free Africa and have leaders that will actually act in the best interest of the Africans. I'm so disappointed. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Do remember also to follow me on Facebook as well as also X. The name of the channel is